All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. New SEC podcast. We're talking about Toledo taking on Kentucky. Kentucky, first game of the season. This is a new SEC podcast, so we're going to talk about Kentucky. And we're going to talk about Toledo a little bit too, but we're talking about Kentucky. In this game, Kentucky is favored by 9.5. The over-under is 47.5. So Vegas is not expecting a ton of scoring in line with what we saw last year from Kentucky. But this is a new year. We got Zach Calzada in the house. Got a lot of new things coming in. Kendrick Law is in the house. What do we think here at the new SEC podcast about this game against Toledo?
Yeah, first and foremost, I think the offense is getting better. The defense is going to take a little bit of a decline. I would be excited if I was a Kentucky fan about the prospective opportunity that this team has ahead of them this season because you have a guy with experience in Zach Calzada.
Yeah, and I think with this offense, there is a lot to be excited about. We talked about how they picked up Kendrick Law. They bring back Jamori Macklin at receiver. Toledo has proven to have some SEC winning experience from last season. And fun fact, they actually have the starting running back. The starting running back this year is from Kentucky from last year, Trey Yanum. So a little bit of a rubber match here in this game. I think Kentucky should have enough to stave them off, but you know, the spread is interesting being in that single digit compared to other games in the SEC this week against G5 competition.
Yeah, well, even more interestingly, as the spread conversation, they opened as 12.5 point favorites in this game. It's moved to 7.5. Money was coming in on Toledo. They're like, that's too many points. So there's a big favoritism towards Toledo right now, and 12 points was too many. They moved to 7.5. Could it keep moving? It might, because this is one of those games where, although I'll give Zach Calzada some praise, he's won SEC games, he has experience. This could be one of the cases where when a SEC team plays a G5 team, where usually they're outskilled, they're gonna if they beat them, it's on something else. The quarterback conversation in this, I'm taking Tucker Gleason over Zach Calzada in a 1-to-1 matchup.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the stats, right? 24 touchdowns, 2,700 yards, 8 interceptions last year. He also had 7 rushing touchdowns. So he's known to kind of be able to tote the rock and get touchdowns as he needs to throughout the season. And the MAC plays a strong brand of football. So regionally, these teams are pretty close, right? Although Kentucky's in the SEC, they're more kind of Midwest. Toledo, obviously in Ohio. I could see the quarterback competition in this game looking similar, with Calzada having SEC winning experience, but coming from the FCS ranks back into the SEC or back into the FBS level.
Yeah, there could be a little bit of a learning curve there as he comes back, and he was just named the starter, I think, a few days ago. We were expecting that to be the case. I like what Toledo can do as far as staying in this game. I don't think that they're a team that will roll over at the experience that they bring at the quarterback position. Now, they have some turnover defensively that could cause some struggles, especially when you have a guy like Dante Dowdle coming in for Kentucky. That's huge. Being able to have such a good running back. We saw at times last season, the running game was essentially carrying Kentucky to not being embarrassed in games. Running, because they had nothing from passing. So now you have a great running back there. You have a quarterback with experience. I like Toledo to stay offensively interesting enough in this game. And that's because Kentucky defensively might take a little bit of a hit.
Yeah, and they definitely could take a little bit of a hit there. I mean, and I would expect Toledo to be able to score in this game, and we'll get to my final prediction here soon. But I still think Kentucky has too much defensively to allow Toledo to outscore them. I'm not expecting this offense for Kentucky to come out of the gate and just put up 42 points in a G5 SEC fashion, but I expect them to be able to score 3 or 4 touchdowns, the defense to be able to stifle an opponent like Toledo. Like Toledo they had one, Power 4 win last year against Mississippi State, if I'm not mistaken. I think that Kentucky should have enough here in the tank to be able to slow them down enough to win this game.
Yeah, I think that they picked up a second Power 4 win in a bowl game, but I could be misremembering. I can't remember who that was, but I like Kentucky in this game, and I like the over. I think that they're two teams that have offensive improvements that are going to come out and try to show it. So I like the over. I like Kentucky. I don't like them covering. So give me Kentucky 27-24.
Okay, so I got the under here. I got Kentucky 30-17 with the over under being 47.5. But we want to know what y'all think here in the comments. It's a new year for Kentucky. If they take down Toledo, they got Ole Miss coming up in week 2, who they beat last year. This is the new SEC podcast. Thank you for tuning in, Big Blue Nation, and until next time.